I've been working with Facebook ads for the last 5 years, managing multiple different accounts, working with multiple different businesses, and overall managing millions in ad spend. One of the problems that we've had that occurred a lot during my career is that the businesses I'm working with were not able to scale quick without losing profitability. So once they want to increase the ad spend to get more new customers, it's hurting the overall profitability. So this has been an issue that I've been having for all of my career. And recently I just found a new scaling method that I've not seen anyone else talk about. And it's actually working extremely well for us. And we've been able to scale some of our clients beyond what we thought we could. And yeah, getting some amazing success. I just have a few slides here that I'm going to talk you through. I'm basically going to show you the method, explain how I came up with it so that you can fully understand how to apply it to your own business and what to expect once you start using it. So this is kind of like a case study. This is how we profitably generated over 1,000 new customers in just 33 days for one of our e-commerce clients. As you can see on the screenshot here, we're running a leads campaign, but we're using a leads campaign as a conversions campaign. So once people sign up on the lead form, they actually automatically become a customer. We have some technical advantages as we have set up kind of like an integration with the lead form. Multiple advantages to doing it like that. So just take note, this is not leads, these are actually customers. So the strategy, I'm just gonna give it to you right away, but it won't really help you without seeing the rest of the video to understand how you can apply it. So we used an automated 2% scaling method, where we basically automatically increase the budget every day with 2% as long as we kept the campaign within our CPA target. So we made sure that it always was a certain cost per new customer in order for us to actually allow Facebook to scale the budget by 2%. So if you don't understand this, just wait to the end of the video and you will understand this scaling method. And we combined this with bid caps. We did not start off with using a bid cap. We started off using highest volume as the campaign bid strategy, but over time we did switch over to bid caps. And I'll tell you why that was a huge advantage for us, why it was a super successful thing. But yeah, if you don't understand what I'm talking about here, don't worry, I'm going to talk you through the whole thinking process, how we come up with this method, and I'm also going to show you how you can technically set this up within your Facebook Ads Manager. First of all, I want to take you through the thought process of how we came up with this method. So the problem was the results were getting unprofitable once we started to increase the daily budget too rapidly. So that was the problem. And then I sat down and we tried to understand, why is this a problem? So the hypothetical reason that we came up with was that as we increase the budget, the demand is not matching that new budget or the reach. So once you increase the budget for your Facebook ads, you will reach more people. But those new people, the new eyeballs that you're starting to reach out to, are not as interested as the initial audience or the initial people that you targeted with the campaign. So if this is the reason for the occurrence of the problem, why does it happen? So as you can see, I'm asking why again, because I really want to get to the root of the issue to figure out how we could solve this. So some hypothetical reasons that I came up with is that once you launch a new campaign, the Facebook algorithm would always start to target the lowest hanging fruit. So the lowest hanging fruit is basically just what I call the easiest people within the audience that you're targeting to convert. So those people that are easiest to convert, those are the ones Facebook will start prioritizing once you launch a new campaign. And you probably experienced this yourself. Once you launch a new campaign, you have maybe 1 or 2 good days or maybe a good week. And then over time, the results start to dip. And the reason for this is that Facebook will start to target the people that already shown interest, maybe the people that have been on your website looking at your products, basically the people within your audience that have had some time to get warmed up, get familiar with your product, your brand, and those are the ones that Facebook will start targeting basically. So once you start increasing the budget, you will kind of use up those people within your audience. You will convert most of them, and then you're left with the colder part of your audience. And those are harder to convert, so they basically need to see your ads more frequently, or they're not as easy to convert with ads. So you need to target a broader part of your audience to actually have more people convert, and that's not going to be profitable, because once you target more people, you reach more people, that's going to cost more. And yeah, you might get some more conversions, but not at a high enough rate to the point where your ads are maintaining that good profitability that you have initially once you launch your campaign. So that's the one hypothetical reason. The other one is that the audience just haven't had enough time to get warmed up. So once you've converted the people that have had time to get warmed up, you're left with the people that just haven't been targeted for that long yet with your ads. So you basically just need more time. Your campaign needs more time to target those people. People need to see your ads a few times and be, warmed up before they can actually convert and become a customer. And the last hypothetical reason is that the Facebook algorithm itself hasn't had enough time to optimize the targeting, because once you start to target the colder part of our audience, it's going to be a bit different kind of people. So the algorithm, the targeting optimization process needs more budget and more time to actually get better and improve to the point where your ads are profitable again. Because it's pretty easy for the Facebook algorithm in the beginning if you have some part of the audience that's already warmed up, but over time it's going to be a bit harder. So the campaign needs more data to actually optimize. So again, you've probably seen this. You launch a campaign, you have some good results, then the results drop off a bit. And then if you keep running the campaign and you keep feeding it data over time, the results will come back up again. So I'm actually now just going to show you exactly how this looks, because this is exactly what happened for a client. So I'm going to show you how this looked statistically within the Facebook Ads Manager. So as you can see on my screen here, this is the campaign that we ran for this client. As you can see, we launched it 17th of March. And in the beginning here, we get a lot of leads coming in, or a lot of customers coming in. So as you can see, it starts off really well, then it dips pretty hard, and then it actually declines over time. So this is the amount of customers that we get in, and you can see that it's declining over time. So this is what I spoke about. Once you launch a campaign, Facebook will start with the lowest hanging fruit, then you will see a big dip, then the algorithm needs to get more data. It needs time to learn and warm up new audiences. And then over time, as you can see, we were able to scale to a new level. And now we are at the point where we get a lot of data coming in all the time. And if you look at the CPA as well, it's stabilizing as we're, scaling. So that's amazing. And I'll get back to explaining how we did this as well later in the video. So hopefully now you have a better understanding of my thinking process of getting to the root of the problem. But now I'm going to actually show you the solution, which is probably the thing that you're mostly interested in. So it's pretty straightforward. Instead of increasing the budget rapidly and have the profitability just go out the window, we want to increase the budget at the same or a slower pace than the demand is growing. And while doing this, we are avoiding Facebook from overspending the daily budget when our target metric, so in our case, is the cost per acquisition, is above target. So we're avoiding this by using bid caps. So I'll get back to explaining how you can avoid this with bid caps. And again, CPA is just our metric that we use for this campaign, for this client. But if you focus mostly on return on ad spend, ROAS, it's the same. If your ROAS is getting too low below your target, you want to avoid Facebook from overspending your budget on those days to maintain consistent and good ROAS, because Facebook sometimes they want to spend all of your daily budget because that's going to make Facebook, or now Meta, the company, make more money, but we don't want to waste our money here. So why is this the solution? So number one, a slow budget increase will give time for the audience to get warmed up. It will allow Facebook to optimize the targeting figure out who to prioritize with your budget. And it also will allow you to find the current ceiling of how much you can scale to before you have to make some changes. So oftentimes with the clients I've worked with, we figure out that there's actually a max capacity that we can scale to with our current audience and current offer and ads. And if you increase the budget too rapidly, you just jump from, $200 to, 600, then and then you see that the profitability is just going out the window, getting super bad, then still you don't really know where that scaling ceiling is between $200 and $600. So by scaling slowly, you can see, okay, now we are at, let's see, $350, and now the profitability is starting to hurt. So now we know that we can actually scale up to 350, but once we scale beyond that, the profitability is getting worse. If you scale too fast, you won't know where that ceiling is. So that's also why it's a good idea to actually scale slowly. So this is the solution. You're going to set up an automated percentage scaling rule. So within Facebook Ads Manager, you can set up automatic rules. So instead of you actually going in every day and applying, these rules manually to your campaign, you can actually just tell Facebook, hey, increase the budget by this many percent. So in our case, it was 2% daily. If we are below the target CPA, if we're at or below the target CPA, so cost per acquisition, for the last 14 days. So we're looking at the last 14-day period. If the CPA is below our target, so if the cost per acquiring a new customer is below our target the last 14 days, we tell Facebook, okay, today increase the budget by 2%. And the reason why we do a percentage instead of an amount is that we want to exponentially scale. You don't need to do it this way, but the reason we do it is because once the campaign gets more data and it gets more budget and gets more data, then it will also improve the results. So as we get better results, we want to scale faster and faster. You can set the action for the automatic rule to increase the budget by $5 every day if you want to. That's going to maybe take more time for you, but it's basically the same thing. You scale slowly and you find your current ceiling of how much you can scale to before you have to make some changes. So I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to set this up. But before that, I want to show you part 2 of our solution. So as you can see on my screen here, we switched from highest volume to bid cap as the campaign bid strategy. Now, the reason why we did that is our focus when we launched this campaign was to get a lot of volume. We wanted to get the maximum amount of customers because we wanted to penetrate the market and get this new product into the market. Now, that's a specific need that we had once we launched this campaign. If you want to start off with a bid cap, you can do that. But there's one caveat to that, and that is if you start off with a bid cap and it's too conservative, so you basically just put the bid cap too low, then what's going to happen is likely Facebook will not spend all of your budget. It might just spend a tiny percentage of your daily budget, and you're not really going to get that momentum and get your campaign rolling. Once you put the bid cap on, you're basically telling Facebook, hey, I want customers, but I'm not going to pay more than X amount per new customer. And if you put that cap too low, then Facebook is just going to go for the lowest hanging fruit. So the ones that are the cheapest and easiest to convert. Once those are converted, Facebook will not start spending budget anymore. It might just stop spending the budget and you will lose all your momentum and your campaign will not continue to run, or you will not be able to scale either. So the way you can get past this is to either do as we did, start with highest volume and then switch the bid strategy to bid cap once you have momentum and a lot of data. Or you can start setting your bid cap a bit higher than what you would normally want. So as you can see on my screen, the period before here is when we ran the campaign without the bid cap. So this is the CPA, and our target was around 200 Norwegian kroners, which is around $20 per customer. And as you can see, it's pretty, up and down before we have the bid cap on. It's a bit unstable. We have some good days, but we have a lot of bad days as well where the cost per acquiring a customer is pretty high. But we already ran the campaign for a while at this point, so we applied a bid cap to stabilize the results more. And another reason why we did this is because we got to a point of scaling where our daily budget got really high. And a big risk when your daily budget is high is that Facebook can basically spend all of your budget in one day, even if you barely get any new customers. And this is just basically human nature. Some days, it's beautiful weather outside, or something is going on in the world, and it's just a lower percentage of those people within your audience that are likely to convert are not going to be that much on social media that day, and that's going to affect your results drastically. So on those days, we basically just don't want Facebook to waste all of our money. So that's why we put a bid cap on. That's also a reason why it's a good idea to put a bid cap on once your daily budget is pretty high and once you start scaling, because you reduce the risk of Facebook basically using all of your budget. So I will show you exactly how to set this up within the Facebook Ads Manager, and I will first show you how to set up the automatic scaling rule. So the first thing you want to do is select the campaign or ad set that you want to scale. So one thing to note there is that if you want to scale a campaign, then you have to have ticked on Advantage campaign budget. So if you need to set the budget on the campaign level if you want to scale a whole campaign. If you just want to scale a single ad set, then you will go into the campaign and then select the ad set that you want to scale, and then you want to create a new rule in the ad set instead. Doesn't really matter. It's just that you will not be able to set up the rule on the campaign level if you have budgets set on ad set level. So this campaign right here, we have the budget set on campaign level. So we tick that one. This is the one we want to scale. Then you go to rules, create a new rule, custom rule, click next. Then you give it a name. So depends on what you want to do here. I want to scale this one by 2% as long as the CPA is below, let's say $10, just as an example. Scale by 2% when it's below $10. So now I know exactly what this rule is. So if you have multiple rules within the ad account, it's good to have a name that makes sense, so it's easy to keep organized and understand what's happening. But then you want to select which campaign you apply to. So I've already ticked that one off. You can also apply it to multiple ad sets or campaigns if you want to. Then you select the action. So then you want to increase daily budget by, that's the action you want to use. If you have a lifetime budget, then you will increase the lifetime budget, but we usually use a daily budget. Tick that one off. Then select the percentage here. So I'm going to select 2%. You can also do 1%, 3%, 5%. Doesn't really matter. It's up to you. I like to go slow so that I can find specifically where the scaling ceiling is. So the amount of daily budget we can have before the profitability starts to get worse. But it's up to you. You can test out a higher percentage or a low percentage if you want to. You can also set a cap just to make sure that your budget doesn't go too high without you noticing. Usually we like to scale as far as we want with our clients, and they're all happy to scale as long as results are good. But if you have some issues, you have a max amount of units in stock and you don't want to scale beyond that, so you sell out too quick, and you can set a cap here if you want to. Action frequency, I would just set that to daily, and then you have to set the conditions. So we usually go with cost per result. So as I was editing this video, I realized that the way I'm showing you to set up this custom rule is towards leads campaigns. If you want to scale a traditional conversions campaign, so a sales campaign, then what you would have to do right here is do not select cost per result. You have to go all the way down until you see cost per website conversion, the metapixel. And then you do cost per purchase, right? then you do smaller than, and then you put in your cap. So just make sure that if you scaling a traditional conversions campaign, do not choose cost per result, go with cost per purchase for the metapixel. So if cost per result is smaller than $10, so I'll just put 10, click add. And then you will also add a lifetime impressions are above 8,000. That's automatically going to be applied. And that's just because sometimes when you launch the campaign, your cost per result might get really, really good, but you just have a few conversions in the beginning. So it's not really that accurate and reliable for scaling. So by having a lifetime impressions above 8,000, you can obviously adjust this. You will basically wait until your campaign gets momentum and gets actual reliable results before this rule is applied and you start to scale. So that's why this one is automatically applied. You can remove it if you want to, it's up to you. And then you want to select the time range. Now we did 14 days. So every time Facebook wants to check if it can scale by 2%, it will look at the last 14 days, see what the cost per acquisition is or the cost per result is if it is below $10 for the last 14 days, then it would scale in this instance. You can also select last 7 days or yesterday, last 2 days. It's up to you. I like to look at longer time periods because it's more reliable. So that's why we do last 7 days. That's why we do the last 14 days. You can also easily do last 7 days if you want to. It's basically up to you what you want to do. We're going to do last 14 days, then schedule continuously, and then you can subscribe to this rule so you get an email every time it is applied. So as you can see, the create button is grayed out, and that's because you actually need to put in a maximum daily budget cap. So we're just going to put $10,000. Then you can click create, and then it will be applied to your campaign. So that's how you set up the automatic rule. Now I'm going to show you how you can apply a bid cap. So again, I'm going to show you within this ad account as an example. As you can see, we have the bid strategy here, and this campaign right here, it has highest volume. Now, if you wanted to change this, you would basically just go click on edit. Then what you would do is go down to campaign bid strategy, click edit, then change it to bid cap. Now you have to select the bid cap on the ad set level. So here you basically just set what the max cost per purchase is going to be. So let's say we wanted to do 15 instead of 10 to be a bit conservative. Then we would basically just apply this one to all of the active ad sets as such. Boom. And then you just click publish, and then you will have the bid cap applied to all of your ad sets. So that's how easy that is to set up. Again, you want to start to be a bit higher than what your actual cap should be, just to have some room to work with and make sure the campaign doesn't stop spending and you losing all momentum for the campaign. So that's just a quick tip. So I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, I would highly appreciate a like and a comment, and subscribe if you want to see future videos like this where I share tips, things that I've learned for free, so that you can get better results for your Facebook ad campaigns. If you want to work with me and my team, there's a link below in the description of this video where you can book a free non-binding strategy session with me, and then we can talk through and see if we're a good fit for a potential partnership. Right now we have a few slots open, so if you're interested in taking your Facebook ads and your business to the next level, make sure you click the link below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.